Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Hey guys, welcome back. Oh shoot. Hey guys, welcome back to another Word Wednesday. Today we're continuing on with part two, starting from chapter 8 to 11. So let's do a quick word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for this again. Thank you for an opportunity to worship. Love you, God. As well for protecting us, all, give you glory and everything. I'm sure glory and that we ever realize at home. All right, guys. So I don't remember which. Okay, so this is part two. We're going to chapter 14, and we're gonna make it real quick, because we don't even. I don't have that much time, and I want to make sure I record this because I'm recording this while I'm out of town. So starting from the verses that I wanted to took out. Um, I want to say it's John 7, 5, verse 53 to verse John 8, 11. Most Green 96 don't include them because they're not there. So they're not included within the the in the original Greek. Sorry about that. Not included within the original Greek. Let's go here to John 8. And it's the story of woman caught in adultery. And the reason why I wanted to point it out was because it's not in the original Greek manuscripts, but it's important because what does John 8 do? John 53 and then John 7:53 to 8 verse 11. Right? It may not be upon manuscripts. The reason why most scholars do not dismiss it or remove it and say it's not part of the Bible canon is, from my understanding, because it has it has all of the pieces of God's of Jesus' character, how he talks, how he walks, how his walk works, and it doesn't contradict anything in the Bible besides the fact that it's just not originally there. It does not contradict the original message or the original writing design, right? Because in most cases, when it comes to Jesus, it's Jesus sees an act of sin, he calls it out as sin, but he shows mercy, he shows grace, right? He's a God that's love, but shows he's a God that's love, but shows his justice, right? And you can see here the one who has never sinned throw the first stone, and he didn't do the first stone, and he says they didn't throw the first stone, I won't either. But then right this point right here, sin no more. It's the emphasis on the sin no more section. And the reason why I like that is because it shows Jesus' character. He's like, yeah, you sin. Yeah, you're a sinner. But I'm going to show you compassion. I'm going to forgive you. And at the end of the day, do not forget, sin no more. Sin no more. Okay? So the next one I believe is verse 11. Yeah, sin no more. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going through the wrong tabs. All right. So now it is 23 to 25. Jesus said, no, no, from love, you know, not. That's what I said. Sorry. Go. Boom. I am who I claim to be. And visit Jesus Messiah. Who are you? You claim to be the I am. And then you skip to 37. Sorry, skip to 37 to 39. Yet I realize that you are descendants of Abraham, and yet some of you are still trying to kill me. Remember your hearts from my message. I'm telling you what I saw when I was with my father. If you are following the advice of your father. Our father's Abraham, they say. Boom. Skip to 58. The truth forever was even what I am, saying I am God. I say that to say like Jesus claimed and admitted to be God. Like he's like, no, I am God. Like he was like, oh, I wanted to say it my way. Well, he's not really God for real. But as clear as that he made it clear, Jesus made it clear. He's indeed God. Mama, boom, chapter 9. Again, these are just notes, just having discussion. There's a review, nothing crazy. Yeah, boys, again, yeah, boys and girls, please do study Bible study in your own time. I read it with you, and this is what I would say versus I would focus on a review. Things of that nature. Obviously, there's other verses you can do, but I just chose these ones. It was not because of his parents and his not because of his sins or his parents' just answered. This happened so that the power of God could be seen in him. I chose this verse because to showcase, like sometimes we deal with difficulties and frustrations. It's not because of our sins, or the sins of our parents. It's just because there's a testimony out of there, or God wants work to do out of you. 734. Look, I told you once. I was good. And Christ said, "You are his disciple. We are the disciples of Moses. We spoke. We know God spoke to Moses. But we don't even know where this man comes from. It's strange. He healed me. You know where he comes from? You know that God doesn't listen, but he is ready to hear those who worship and do his will. Ever since the world began, no one has been able to open eyes some from blind. And if we're not from God, he couldn't have done it. Exactly that point. If he were not, if he were not, this man were not from God, he could not have done it. And what the Pharisees do? Blasphemy. You're a total sinner. What are you trying to do? Yes, my synagogue. And then 541. Spiritual blindness. Jesus talking to the man. Basically, Cliff Notes, boom. You believe in me? I was like, yeah, I want to believe in you. Boom. I'm him. Son of man. Right here. Son of God. Son of man is a title Jesus used for himself. Declaring he's God. Really. So boom. Jesus is declaring he's God. Declaring deserves praise and worship and glory. He's like, yeah, I worship you. And Jesus says, I entered the world to render judgment, to give sight to the blind, and show those who think they see they're blind. And the Pharisees asked, are they blind? He's like, if you were blind, you wouldn't be guilty. But you remain guilty because you claim you can see. You claim you're a spiritual son, yet you commit blasphemy. Only somebody who knows the truth and still denies it can be what they are. They're spiritually blind. If they were truly blind, like ignorance is bliss, it'd be fair game. But because they're not truly ignorant, they know exactly what they're doing. Jesus cannot claim that. All right, so boom. Oh, sorry, back real quick. 39. Yes, I believe the man said Jesus worship him. Yeah, so okay. Just making sure I didn't over that. See here, John 6 to 10. Those who use this illustration don't understand what I mean. Shows it them. Say the truth, gave the sheep, all became formed with thieves and robbers. He would not listen to them at the gate. Those kind of you will be saved. The come go free. That's why I got pleasure. The thief's purpose is to still kill and destroy. My purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life. Jesus is here to give us a peace, a rich and satisfying life. Mind you, he did not say rich in terms of wealth, rich in terms of finances, rich in terms of monetary value. A rich and satisfying life did not mean comfort. That's not what that means. That is not what that means. I want to make it clear. 17 to 21. Father loves me because sacrifice, boom, protect my life. I sacrificed voluntarily. He chose to die. Boom. He's demon possessed out of his mind. Also, man, doesn't sound like a man. This doesn't sound like a man who's just like him. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind? Would a devil cast? Would Beelzebub cast out Beelzebub? Would the demon really cast out a demon? Like even I'll say like this. My example to why it's hogwash, right? My thing is this: Jesus, is Jesus right when he says, if you're on the same team, there's no business why someone on the same team would act out against their teammate and set their teammate up for failure. That's what's clear about what Jesus is saying, what Jesus is doing. Like, if we're both trying to win a championship, whether it be football, whether it be basketball, whether it be the World Cup, no matter how I feel about my teammate, there's no way I would sabotage my own teammate when we both want the same thing to win. Makes no sense. Okay. Boom. Keep surrounding him. How are you gonna keep it in suspense if your Messiah tell us plainly? Boom. I already told you don't believe. That's it. I mean, we could do more of the verses, but Jesus said it plainly. I told you I'm the Messiah. You don't want to believe I'm the Messiah. You don't want to believe I'm the Messiah. We can point to so many different things, so many different claims, but you call me, you say it blasphemous, and you can't be God, but I'm like, you asked me if I'm the Messiah, and I told you I am, and you don't believe me. That's clear as day. Jesus is saying he is the Messiah. He is the second. He is the coming of Christ. It is he. They don't want to believe him. All right. Verse 41, many followed him. John didn't perform miraculous signs. They're about to one another, but everything he said about this man has um Jesus was foretold centuries before he was even born. Okay? Jesus, Lazarus sick, boom, quicker, 15, these are some verses you can focus on. 21 to 27, 21 to 27, boom, da, 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 boom, boom, boom. Yes, this is a chapter where Jesus wept, I believe. I'm not gonna focus on that. I want to focus on his resurrection, the life, and the resurrection not only in the final day, but today. 5, Jesus wept, boom, 44. You will see God's glory if you believe. Pray to God. Lazarus come out, happen. Multiple miracles here. Well, not well, yes. Well, raise the dead, right? And then this, multiple parts to this miracle. He let him die. He let him pass, rose him from the dead, show that he's not only the resurrection in the final days, but he's the resurrection anytime, anywhere, any place, no matter the circumstance, no matter the situation. He is the resurrection, no matter what. Then there's also Lazarus come out, and he had people hands on touch and unwrap a dead man. So they would know for sure this was not an accident. This wasn't a joke. Lazarus was immortally, he was dead, and Jesus resurrected him. Okay, so 3, the prophecy for Jesus being killed, but at the same time, God knew it would happen. He let the prophecy come to pass that it would be true that Jesus would die. Boom, 12. Boom, you have the poor always have the poor among you, but you don't always have to be not just physically poor, but spiritually poor or bankrupt in other terms. Palm Sunday, boys can study that. Open that. 28. Those who love God will lose it, but those who care for another in life will keep it for you. Because anyone who follows in, basically take up your cross and follow me. Be willing to lose your life to serve my name, serve my kingdom. Because anyone who's not willing to lose everything is not someone who can who cannot someone who has the values of Jesus. Because Jesus gave up his throne, his comfort, and his prosperity in heaven to die on a cross for a death he didn't deserve for people, for some people who will never love him. Okay? This is 37, 43. Prophecy. Let's read that. Forty-five. You trust me. You are trusting not only me but also God Christ. When you see me, you are seeing the one who sent me. Not just a metaphor, saying He is God. Chapter 17, washing His out with His feet. 14. I wash your feet. You have to wash others' feet. I've given you an example to follow, so do as I have done to you. I tell you the truth. Slaves are not greater than the master, nor is the messenger more important than the one who sends the message. So twofold. Servants of Christ are not greater than Christ. Whatever plight or sufferings, the example is that he has done, he has to follow. He sacrificed and was persecuted, so we will sacrifice and be persecuted against. Right? Jesus is a messenger of God, but he humbles himself as a messenger, calling him less than God by submitting himself to Christ. And we are also submit ourselves to Christ because we feel his message as God. Let's see here. 19 to 20. Jesus predicts his betrayal. I am the Messiah. Jesus claims he claimed to be God and the Messiah. Yes, there's nothing else to say. And prophecy. Anyone welcomes my messenger is welcome me. Anyone welcomes me is welcome the Father who sent me. Equating himself to God. Okay, back 6 or 7. Is one to whom I give bread, different bread. Judas. I find it funny. I read it somewhere that what happens if Judas never accepted it? Because Jesus gave it to him, but Judas had the option to deny and say no, no, thank you. Interesting. It's just interesting Bible study discussion. 34, 35. Now I'm giving you a new commandment: love each other, just as I've loved you. You should love each other. Your love for another will prove to the world that you are my disciples. The most important part of being a follower of Christ is to have love in your heart for Christ, love for your neighbors, love for yourself, and love to forgive your enemies. But also remember, love, love, love keeps no record of wrong. Yet is not only love is not just what's what I'm looking for, exploitative, nor is love just enablement. If love is not enablement, and perverted love, extreme love, abusive love is not love at all. Okay? And now change. Okay. 14, verse 1. Try to be trust in God. Trust in me. I am God. You can trust in God, you can also trust in me. 7. That's something that means. Way, truth, and life, no one comes to the Father except through me. If you really know me, you will know my Father. None, you do know him and have seen him. It's in Jesus, it's in God. You're just reiterating, he is God. You've seen the Father, you've seen me. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. 31. Promise of the Holy Spirit. All right. I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all boys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, this is just like stuff I'll focus on, notes, stuff like that. I'd love to go deeper, but I didn't want to make it long as last time. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have a good one. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, God bless.